Welcome to Joseph Ntonga YouTube channel from Jaram Science Academy. We continue with our anatomy and physiology for environmental health and all those who are in the health sciences. And our topic today is integumentary system. And the objectives are as follows. Number one, to explain the composition of the integumentary system. Number two, to draw the structure of the skin. Number three, to describe the functions of the skin. So that is how far we'll go today. Now, first of all, let us look at the first objective, to explain the composition of the integumentary system. Now, the integumentary system is a system that is made up of the skin and its accessory organs. So it is made up of the skin and the accessory organs. So that is the integumentary system. Now, what are the accessory organs of the integumentary system, or especially the skin? The accessory organs are these organs which are constitute part of the skin. Now, the skin is a major organ of the integumentary system. Then you have these accessory organs. That means those organs that help the skin to function properly. Then you have associated with the skin is hair, is an accessory structure. Then you have the nails. Okay. Then you have the sweat glands. Or the glands in general, which include the sweat glands. Then you have the mammary glands, especially mammals. Since we are dealing with the humans there, then for example, in other organisms you may have claws, okay, hooves. Those are accessory organs of the skin. Okay. Now these are component parts of the skin, and they help the skin to function. So that is the composition of the integumentary system. So it consists of the skin, as I mentioned earlier on, the skin and these accessory organs. And that is the composition. Now let us look at the structure of the skin. Now, when you look at the skin, it also divided into two main components. You have the epidermis and the dermis. Okay. Now, when you look at the epidermis, the epidermis, epi means upper, the upper part of the skin. It's a very thin component, maybe about 1 millimeter thick. Okay, but this epidermis is sometimes referred to as the non-living component of the skin. Non-living component. But this non-living component of the skin, even if it is 1 millimeter thick, you find that it is made up of layers. It has layers. And these layers are what we call strata. Strata is the same as a layer. Okay. Now it has several layers within this epidermis. Okay. So some of the layers are as follows. You have at the bottom, you have stratum. Stratum basale. Then you have another layer, stratum spongosum. Then you have stratum granulosum. Then towards the upper part there, you have stratum cornea. So these the different layers in the skin epidermis. So within that skin epidermis, you have these layers. Then again, the epidermis has some specialized cells. It contains some specialized cells. You have specialized cells which are found in the epidermis, such as keratinocytes. Okay, which are responsible for synthesizing the keratin of your hair and the nails, keratinocytes. Then you have Langerhans cells are there. Then you also have Merkel cells. Okay. The Langerhans cells are associated with defense in the body, so that they can deal with any germs that may enter the cell through the body, the skin, through any germs that can enter the body through the skin. Then the Merkel cells are responsible for light touch. Okay, for example, you are able to sense even when somebody just touches you slightly, you are able to say, "Don't touch me." Okay, it's because of these Merkel cells. Where you have the highest sense of touch, that means you have the highest accumulation of these cells. Okay, so that is the epidermis. Then we go to the dermis. The second part of the cell of the skin is the dermis. Now, this one here is said to be the living component of the cell of the skin, living component of the skin. Okay, so let me just see here very quickly, give you a rough drawing. For example, we say this is the epidermis of the skin, and then you see here you have our our hair protruding. Yeah. Then you have our nerve ending there. Okay. Then you have the sweat pore there, and this is the sweat gland. Okay. Then you have the adipose tissue there. Okay. So this is the sweat pore. Sweat pore, and this is the sweat gland. This is the nerve ending. This is the hair follicle. Okay. And here you can also have blood vessels, okay, like that. So this is a blood vessel. Okay. So this is the epidermis. Okay, so that is the structure of the dermis. So the dermis is this part here, the whole of that part just below the epidermis constitutes the dermis. So you can see that this truly is the living component, because you have the blood supply here, you have the nerve to detect the sensation, you have the sweat gland there to make sure that the sweat is released during the process. So that is the structure of the dermis. There are even some more other structures. Here you have mostly adipose tissue this side. Okay, so that is the structure of the dermis. So the skin is made up of the epidermis and the dermis. So you should be able to draw the structure, let's say, of the skin and label its component parts, and be able to do the next objective, that is to look at the functions of the skin. Now, I've already alluded to, let's say, to the functions of the skin. The functions of the skin are mainly two. You have protective function. The skin protects us from germs, from the entry, so it's the first defense from us being infected. It's a barrier, okay? Especially it is in contact with the environment. There are a lot of harmful substances in the environment, and that's why the structure is such that it can resist that. It can resist ultraviolet rays, it can resist scratches, and so on and so forth. Then number two is we can say it is the function that is mainly regulatory function in terms of heat. That is thermal regulation. Thermal regulation. For example, the skin is able to regulate. For example, when it is very hot, it is able to adjust by making sure that you start sweating and the body is going to cool. And then when it is very cold, you will find that there will be vasoconstriction of the blood vessels, so that you don't release a lot of heat. So those are the functions of the integumentary system in relation to the role the skin plays. And you can go and learn more by searching, for example, in the website in terms of the functions of the skin. But they are mainly protective and thermoregulatory functions. For example, in terms of regulatory functions, thermoregulatory functions, you must be able to explain how the skin responds when it is very cold and how the skin responds when it is very hot. Thank you very much for your viewership, but I have a few questions to ask you. Question number one. Explain the composition of the integumentary system. Explain the composition of the integumentary system. Number two, describe the structure of the skin. Describe the structure of the skin. Number three, what are the accessory organs of the skin and state their function? What are the accessory organs of the skin and state their function? Number three, what are the two main functions of the skin? What are the two main functions of the skin? Thank you very much. That is all for today. I'm your host, Joseph from Tonga. Continue to subscribe, share, and like.